So welcome to the NFT Deep Dive Weekly News Recap. Today's Sunday, January 30th, and we're going to be looking at the latest news from the world of NFTs. Cue the intro.
I hope I have an intro ready.
You think it's funny to take screenshots of people's NFTs, huh?
I don't think people understand when something comes along that changes the world.
Alright, so today we're going to be covering 9 stories, starting with OpenSea and a Bored Ape Yacht Club fiasco which caused users to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. By the way, if you'd like to follow along reading-wise, you can sign up to our newsletter at nftdeepdive.substack.com. I send out a weekly newsletter every Sunday that covers the latest news recap. Basically, it's this podcast or YouTube video. I don't know how you're consuming it. So if you don't like watching, if you don't like listening, you could always read. So earlier this week, a Twitter user called tballer. Posted something that said, "I just lost an ape, guys. I'm crying. How did this happen?" Essentially, what happened was there was an exploit on OpenSea where if NFT holders were trying to sell one of their NFTs on the platform, what they could do generally was transfer it to another wallet of theirs, and that delisted it from sale. So if they transferred it from their OpenSea wallet to a secondary wallet, it was no longer for sale. But there was a little known kind of problem or feature that people didn't know about, that essentially you had to pay a gas fee or a transaction fee to actually delist your NFT. And so what happened was there was several people who had Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs listed on OpenSea that they thought were delisted and were actually bought for incredibly low prices over the last week. For example, tballer.eth, he had his NFT sell for 0.77 Ethereum, which is around $1,700. The current floor price, which is the lowest price that you can purchase one for, is around 118 Ethereum, or just over $300,000. So, poor guy. That must really, really suck. A few solutions to this problem have come up. One of them being orders.rarible.com, which is a way for concerned NFT owners to see all of their open listings. That way, you can go and just pay the gas and delist your NFTs. Additionally, OpenSea actually quietly rolled out a new feature called listings where people can see what NFTs they currently have listed. But it doesn't help anyone who lost money in these transactions or had NFTs sell mistakenly. My recommendation is that if you are selling NFTs, go and just make sure that everything that you're selling is what you want to be selling and not something that you're accidentally going to sell. Because honestly, at that point, it's really up to the goodwill of the person that bought it. If they bought it at a low price and you didn't mean to sell it at a low price, maybe they'll send it back. And that seemed to have happened before, but generally they're just going to keep it and you're going to be out of a lot of money. Story number 2 covers interesting hiring news from the world of NFTs, starting with Reddit, who seem to be building an NFT platform, at least judging based on hiring posts from their LinkedIn, where they're currently hiring a senior backend engineer for their NFT platform, which doesn't exist yet. The job description states that this person will, quote, design, build, and ship backend services for millions of users to create, buy, sell, and use NFT-backed digital goods, end quote. So, to me, it sounds like somebody at Reddit is getting ready to go launch an NFT platform where users will be able to sell, buy, hold NFTs. Sounds like potentially a competitor to OpenSea, but as you'll see as the story goes on, there's a few companies that are about to be jumping into the space, so I think it's about to get really interesting. One thing that's interesting about the Reddit role is that it actually says that experience with crypto and NFTs is not required. So, it seems like if you're an engineer and you want to break into crypto and you have good engineering chops, this might be a way for you to do it. Check it out. They're hiring, and I'm excited to see what Reddit launches in the upcoming future. Considering that Reddit is used by around 500 million people a month, it makes sense that they're going to try and break into the NFT world and capture their audience. So let's see what happens. Second is GameStop, who are also building an NFT platform. A LinkedIn listing shows that GameStop is hiring a director of product marketing for their upcoming NFT platform. Not much is known about the platform, but there have been several different hiring posts over the last few months. They're looking for someone who has 6+ years of product marketing and go-to-market experience, preferably in the consumer/creative/creator space. Unlike Reddit, they'd actually like you to have some experience with NFT marketplaces, but again, it's not necessary. So it seems like it's a really good time for people to break into the world of NFTs and Web3 if you're an engineer. What's interesting to me is that since they're hiring a marketer, That means, or at least it makes me think, that they're getting ready to launch this platform, because marketing generally joins towards the middle/end of a cycle where products are getting developed, because in the initial part, there's not much to market. So it seems like we might be hearing about GameStop NFT platform soon and seeing what they launch. It's going to be interesting. And a third company that's hiring is none other than Budweiser, America's favorite beer. Or not. I'm not really sure if that's actually their saying. But anyways, back in July, news broke out that Budweiser signed NFT agency VaynerX as their marketing agency for NFTs. VaynerX being Gary Vaynerchuk's marketing arm or marketing agency, who's very heavily involved in NFTs and launched the hugely successful project VeeFriends. A LinkedIn post shows that they're currently looking for someone to be in charge of their NFT community. This person will manage the Discord, keep on top of the latest NFT news, coordinate merch drops, and more. Some key responsibilities for this job include interacting with crypto/NFT communities on social media platforms, identifying and removing bots from NFT communities, coordinating with internal and external partners requiring to execute on the NFT strategy, creating a strong community around these NFTs and related projects by engaging and connecting with their key markets, and other stuff, like staying informed of NFT news and trends and bringing insight to the team. So basically, you're going to be Budweiser's go-to NFT person. I think this is a really interesting role for someone who has marketing chops, social media chops, etc. If you've been managing a Discord for some projects, if you have that experience, I say apply. I don't know if they're still hiring, but it's interesting seeing brands not launching their own platform, but they're still hiring people to participate in the NFT side of things. So I think that's only going to grow. And if you are early in the NFT space, if you're in these Discords, if you're participating, I think there's going to be a lot of room to join existing brands that are going to be delving into the space. So really interesting. And it's good to keep an eye on these opportunities as they arrive, because it shows you what's being built in secret in the world. Budweiser might not be the company you expect to join the NFT world, but looks like even they are jumping headfirst into the space. Meanwhile, DraftKings seems to have quietly launched an NFT Marketplace. The DraftKings Marketplace is now live, and users will be able to purchase NFTs through drops, where DraftKings lists new NFTs on the marketplace, and from other users on the secondary market. The first drop is currently scheduled for August 11th. Honestly, their website looks like it's still being developed. I'm not sure. It seems like it's here, and I guess I'm on their website right now, and it looks like they have a preseason access collection by Autograph, which is Tom Brady's, or at least he's like the part owner company that's in the NFT space. Oh, here's actually Tom Brady as their picture, which I'm sure those NFTs are about to jump in value considering Tom Brady just announced his retirement. But yeah, it seems like you could sign up. Since the first drop is only in August, I'm not really sure if you can actually buy the NFTs yet or not. But they seem to have launched this website about a week ago. So I'm going to look more into it. And in next week's recap, we might have some more news regarding how this actually works. So we'll be diving into that. It is interesting to note how DraftKings, GameStop, Reddit, all are working on platforms that are basically competitors to OpenSea, it seems like. A way for users to buy, sell, hold NFTs. So I think that space, the kind of middle player that connects users to the chains and lets them store, sell, hold NFTs. Considering OpenSea just raised $300 million at a $13 billion valuation, I think it's going to be hard for these companies to compete, considering what they're building is a subset of what they offer. These companies have their main responsibility. Reddit has a forum that they have to manage, and then they're launching an additional NFT platform. Yes, they're big companies. Yes, they have big market caps. Yes, they have resources. But OpenSea has a one job, and it's just to build that platform. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they compete, who ends up on top. And I think we're really going to see a lot of movement in the space over the next 6 to 12 months, which, you know, sounds short, but in the NFT world and the crypto world, 12 months is like 50 years. So check back with you about this as it develops. We'll see who takes the lead. I think if I was to gamble today, January 30th, I'd say that OpenSea is probably still going to win, even though there's a lot of competition, just because of the cash that they have on hand and they're kind of first to market. They have been in the space for a little while. They have a bunch of stuff to fix, but with the cash on hand, I think they're going to be able to do it. So We'll observe the story as it develops. Story number 3 has to do with everyone's favorite butt wiping company, Dude Wipes. The moist wipes for grown adults, or dudes as they would say. So their founder actually posted on LinkedIn that, quote, something big is coming, but, B-U-T-T, not but, pun. That's all I can say right now. Hashtag NFTs. And he shared an image to OpenSea that has an NFT attached to it. It says honorary butthead number 1, Sean Riley. Sean Riley being the founder of Dude Wipes. He's the CEO. And it's a picture of a dude. Basically, it's him with, instead of a face, he has a butt, and he's in a shirt that says dude on it. So I think clearly they're cooking something up in the NFT space. They actually seem to have partnered with a company that will be helping traditional CPG companies to break into the NFT world by creating NFT collections like this. I have no idea what utility this is going to have for its holders, but I'm sure there's going to be something cool baked in with this, and it's just interesting to observe. So we don't really know what's going on here yet, but even butt wipes are entering the world of NFTs. Story number 4 is about YouTube eyeing NFTs. YouTube seems to also, like everyone else, be looking to enter the NFT world, even though it doesn't seem like they're currently building anything. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, that's a hard name to pronounce, suggested the company is looking to branch into NFTs in the future as another source of revenue for creators. She said that the company is, quote, always focused on expanding the YouTube ecosystem to help creators capitalize on emerging technologies, including things like NFTs. I think this is really interesting because a lot of creators are leaving YouTube because of their censorship, because of their demonetization. The Nelk Boys, who launched Metacar.io that I talked about in the previous podcast episode, check it out, NFT Deep Dive on Apple Podcast and Spotify, or read the newsletter. They launched their Metacar.io, and they have a paid Nelk Boys full send subscription purely because of YouTube. They get like 10 million views a month, and they make literally $0 because all of their stuff's demonetized. Or maybe they make like $100. So their operation, they just can't afford to continue based on YouTube, even though that's where they started, that's where they grew, that's how they initially started out. I think it's interesting that YouTube is like, hey, we're going to help creators with NFTs, even though YouTube really hurts a lot of creators, especially like the really viral ones. I mean, if you're child friendly, if you're just like some engineering videos, I mean, you're gonna thrive. YouTube's still a giant platform. This video you're watching right now on YouTube, or if you're not watching it, it is on YouTube. You can go check it out. NFT Deep Dive, that's the channel. So I think it's interesting seeing how they're going into this, even though a lot of creators are basically leaving YouTube and starting their own either NFT projects or subscription clubs to fund themselves and to make money for themselves, because YouTube is just a place where they can't afford to survive. So I don't know. I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know what they're going to offer. Maybe creators will be able to like sell viral clips of their videos, and it'll help them break it up. So for example, if someone uploads a video and like YouTube will be like, hey, these are the most watched based on the data clips from the last year. You have like these 20 clips. We can create NFTs for them, and you can sell them to your community with some sort of utility attached. Could be really, really interesting. But again, I don't think currently they've built anything. They are eyeing it, however. Story number 5 is After Party, which is an NFT platform focused on, they have a really nice house in LA. It's like a multi-million-dollar mansion. They host these events, and they have all of these celebrities, David Dobrik, I don't know who else off the top of my head, but I think like all of them, like Bryce Hall, all these YouTube people who have 10 million subscribers, the TikTok generation, etc. They bring them on, and they launch like this specific NFT that all they have and they can hold, and then they help them launch their own projects. And their founding vision is to basically empower creators with the tools and community to realize their Web3 potential. So it's like helping traditionally Web 2 creators, so YouTube, TikTok, etc., go into Web 3 and maintain control over their audience, over their fans, etc. Afterparty is actually doing something really interesting. They're launching an industry-first gated music festival. So what that means is that the only way in is by having a certain NFT. And it's not just a music festival, it's going to be really big. The Chainsmokers are headlining, and the festival will take place March 18th to 19th in Area 15, which is an entertainment venue in Las Vegas. I think personally this is really interesting to observe, because this is one definitely use case for NFTs as passes, as entrance to some sort of clubs. So using a festival where holders have NFTs makes it quite interesting. People, it's sort of playing into actually what VCon is. So even though they're hosting a what they call an industry first festival. VFriends has been talking about this, and that's kind of one of the utilities of VFriends, which, like I mentioned before, is Gary Vaynerchuk's NFT project, where all the holders of VFriends get access for 3 years to this VCon conference, which is supposed to be huge and have amazing speakers and stages and events. And so we're seeing a lot of NFTs being used as kind of entryways, as passes to get into events, into some sort of social clubs. Gary Vaynerchuk launched another project called Flyfish Club, which is an exclusive restaurant that I think they're building in New York first, and then they're going to expand. And you have to buy an NFT to have access to it. Think of it like a Soho House, which is exclusive club for these young creatives that costs, I don't know, a bunch of money every month, and you pay and you have access to it. We've been seeing NFTs used in this way. I think it's definitely one of their practical applications. We'll see how this music festival turns out. The one thing that definitely puts me a little bit on edge, where I'm like, who's going to be here, is that it seems that with After Party, like, normal people can't really participate. They're really targeting like celebrities, or at least YouTube celebrities, TikTok celebrities, as the people who can get access to After Party. It's like you get special NFTs. So I don't know who's going to be buying this, but it does seem like their pre-sale is sold out. So that's interesting, and I'll update the story as more news comes out. And story number 6 covers the latest celebrity times crypto partnership. Basketball legend LeBron James has entered the chat by partnering with Crypto.com, or more so actually, his foundation, the LeBron James Family Foundation, partnered with Crypto.com with the goal of educating underserved communities on blockchain-related topics. Students and families that are part of the I Promise School, which is a public school founded by LeBron's foundation, will receive access to educational resources necessary to build in Web3. I think this is really, really cool, because what they're going to be doing is teaching people to build in Web3, and that is extremely valuable. Flipping NFTs, understanding NFTs, that is one part, and that's super important as well, because you're experiencing the ecosystem, you're participating in the ecosystem, you're learning about different chains, but learning to build and to code in the system, that's going to open these guys to a lot of potential opportunities. Because NFTs, like Gary Vaynerchuk says, I say this, even though, who am I? 99% of the projects right now are bullschlagen. They're going to fail. They're going to be nothing. It's internet in 2000 or 99 where most of the projects fail. But the internet didn't go away, and neither is blockchain, and neither are NFTs. They're here to stay. So by teaching these kids the foundations of how to build in this space, you're opening them up to an entire new world of opportunities. So good on LeBron, good on crypto. I hope they actually put a lot of effort into this and give them good resources, not just links to some tutorials that they could have found otherwise. If they actually give these kids the tools to build, they're going to build a bunch of future rock stars. And story number 7, Justin Bieber enters the Bored Ape Yacht Club by purchasing a floor ape, meaning that there's nothing special about it, for a mind-boggling 500 Ethereum, or $1.29 million. He bought Bored Ape Yacht Club 3001 for 300% more than it was valued at. Although people are confused by Bieber's reasoning, he's no newcomer to the NFT world. The wallet that he has connected to his OpenSea currently has 340 Ethereum, which is worth around $870,000, and currently he has 619 NFTs from 49 collections. While many of them may have been just sent to his account by projects that do that, and that's a big method, that how projects market themselves, they'll find someone's public username. For example, Gary Vaynerchuk has a bunch of NFTs that he didn't buy. People just send it to him because someone will go, they'll look at Gary's wallet, and they can see, oh, he has NFTX, whatever. That means he bought it and he thinks it's awesome, so I'm going to go buy it. When in reality, he didn't buy it. He doesn't even know he has it, maybe. People just sent it to him because they're expecting people to go and look. And obviously, I don't do that. That's just an example. So Bieber, while he may have not bought all these NFTs, he has been in the game for quite a while and does seem to be enthusiastic about it. People have been wondering why he bought this floor ape, which, again, it's just a basic ape. There's nothing rare about it. One of the reasons that people are saying it may have been is the eye. So one of the traits of the specific Bored Ape Yacht Club ape, number 3001, and what a trait is again, in the NFT world, a trait would be, for example, his eyes, or the beard, or the background, or the shirt that he's in. There's different layers in an image, and each one has different rarity. One reason that people think he did buy it is because of the lonely eyes. He wrote on Instagram a caption with lyrics from his song Lonely, which is a huge hit, and hashtagged it with Lonely Bored Ape. So with he has the spending money, this is almost like advertising for a song. Maybe he's gonna put it on an album or something if he has the rights to the image. Quite interesting, but yeah, Bieber's in the ape club. Story number 8 covers everyone's favorite Bitcoin president, Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, who has long been a big Bitcoin maximalist. During last week's crypto crash, the president of El Salvador bought another 14,000 Bitcoins and added them to El Salvador's treasury for $15 million. He had a tweet that said, "Nope, I was wrong, didn't miss it. El Salvador just bought 410 Bitcoins for only $15 million. Emoji with the blowing party hat and everything. Some guys are selling really cheap. And this was in response to another tweet that he had just a few weeks earlier that said, "I think I may have missed the dip this time." And the reason he said that is because he's had a good track record of buying Bitcoin when it's really, really low. El Salvador was actually the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender in 2021. And the last story of the day is one that I find kind of silly, a little bit stupid. John Lennon's son is selling Beatles NFTs, but it's not really what you think. So John Lennon's son, Julian, is turning certain items from his personal collection of Beatles memorabilia into NFTs that are being sold at an auction in a collection titled the Lenon Collection. The collection includes special one-of-a-kind items such as the coat John Lennon wore in the Magic Mystery Tour film, 3 Gibson guitars the music legend gifted his son, and the most important, or at least the kind of prized pinnacle possession, handwritten notes by Paul McCartney for the song Hey Jude, which was originally titled Hey Jules, as a letter to the 5-year-old Julian. Experts predict that Hey Jude notes could fetch more than $60,000. Each collectible will come with special narration from Julian going over the backstory of the item. But people aren't actually getting the items, which to me makes it a little bit silly. People are literally getting a digital version of, or a picture, like essentially it's a screenshot of these items with a narration by Julian. So they're not actually, if you're buying the Gibson guitars, it's not like you're getting the Gibson guitars and some sort of NFT collectible that goes along with it. You're literally just getting a screenshot or a picture of these guitars with Julian talking about them, which to me makes it seem a little bit silly because we all make fun of NFTs. Oh, if you screenshot it, then like you don't get the utility behind it. You're literally going to get the utility here. If someone just screenshots this collectible NFT and gets the recording, it's like the same thing. I mean, who cares? So yeah, it's not on the chain and it's not that, but like there's no utility behind it. So I think that's kind of silly, but we'll see. Julian Lennon said that the items are, quote, too sentimental for him to actually sell. I don't know. It seems like it's just a money grab and he's trying to get a quick buck or two, jump on the NFT train, sell some screenshots of his own collectibles. I don't know. I mean, look, what if one day he actually sells the guitars, like when he's getting really old, maybe passes on to his kids? I don't know the situation. To me, it just seems a little bit weird. So yeah, I thought that was a silly one, but it's news, so that's why I'm talking about it. And that wraps up NFT Deep Dive's weekly news recap. I hope you learned something new. Share it with your friends if you did. Share it with your friends anyways because it means a lot to me. Subscribe, like, join us. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, NFT Deep Dive. We're on Substack where you could read this newsletter, subscribe. It has some extra info. It has links to all the stories, a lot more information. Check it out. Thanks for being here. See you next week. Peace.